Welcome to my first allotment video. This is our plot, number 31B in Tunbridge Wells, Rust Hall. And we've had it, this is the second year we've had it, so we had it last year. We got it quite late, so it was all overgrown, a little bit like one down there. And we rotivated everything, got the beds going. There were some beds, evidence of beds previous. And so we uncovered those and kept to that layout mainly, but enlarged them. So it's not very big, but I'll show you what we've got. So this is our flower bed. Aren't many flowers in it at the moment. Nice Manhattan lights loop in there. It's the star of the show, I think. We've got some sunflowers growing here. Grew them from seed. I'm sure you can see them. They're quite tall now. Got a little herb garden here. We need to put some borders around this, but we've got all sorts of herbs. Some chocolate mint there, I like that. All sorts of things, chives. And then our bean wigwam. We've only just planted it. It's the 27th of May, if you were wondering. We started working on this plot this year, probably February, March time. Started with the rotavator, cleared everything, put new borders around the beds, just tidied everything up really, tried to maximise the amount of growing space because as I said it's not a very big plot. We've got some beans growing here, some French beans and runner beans. These ones down here are doing particularly well. They went in first. Yeah, we've got some just climbing French beans. So got some tender green French beans here, and then these are Blue Lake variety. If I can get it to zoom in, yeah, focus, good. And some dwarf French beans at the end. But the structure is quite straightforward. I'm sure all of you have had something like this or have something like this at the moment. But instead of last year using string, this year I decided to use, I call them cable ties, but I think they're called something else. But these black cable ties, it's from the pound shop. But I mean, I'm giving that a good shake and it's not going anywhere. So yeah, the structure's strong. And then over here we have the onion bed, I like to call it. There are other things in here. It's garlic, some Solent white garlic, there, and then some white onions. Oh sorry, these are red onions. Some Red Baron onions, very popular. And then these are Carmen red onions, but they're growing quite well. Need to weed this bed, but yeah, they're growing quite well. So I tried to plant them in rows, and then some white onions over here. These I grew from onion sets you buy in the garden centre. These ones I got as plug plants. Apparently they're a prize winner. Should be about the size of a grapefruit from Lucky, but I never had any luck with onions last year, so I'm not holding out much hope. And then these ones I just put in last night. We did have the leeks here, but the leeks had all bolted, so we pulled them out quickly and hopefully we can make something of them. So in its place we put some Elsa Craig prize winner onions, so white onions. Then over here we've got some radish. I don't know what variety of radish this is. Hopefully a red one, red and white one. But in between, we decided to use the space, put some garlic in between. So these are particularly healthy looking garlic plants. I think there are 7 of them. And then this year, from watching all the YouTube videos of people doing the same thing, we decided to grow potatoes in pots this year. Big big pot. So these are 10-litre pots, I believe. Oh no, sorry, they're 50-litre pots. Yeah, of course, they're 50-litre pots. And then these are just the small 10-inch pots. But we have all sorts of potatoes. We have Charlotte, this one is Maris Piper. I believe this one is also Maris Piper. Yeah. The Maris Piper is a little bit slower than, say, the King Edwards there and there. So what I've been doing is, these pots are quite big, as you can see. So I started them off with the seed potatoes at the bottom and then earthed them up 3 times to get to where they are now. So they're just poking their head through, and I'm probably not going to earth them up anymore because when I water them I want the water to stay in, not run away. And then these are the Sapo Miras, which we got from seed. They're not poking through because I just earthed them up last night. But yeah, they're the potatoes. And then moving back past the onion bed, we've got the chili and peppers. Chilies and peppers. Undo this. It's a nice sunny day. We did have some rain earlier, which is great because we needed it. But it's a nice warm day now. The sun's out. It was a little bit windy earlier, but as you can see, it seems to have settled down. And it's very bright. So good. But yes, back to the chilies. Got some Apache chilies, some jalapenos, some big devil, some Jericho, all in there. So they're not very big at the moment, and they've got some space to grow up. And then in here, these are the chilies and peppers that I grew from seed. They're mainly Californian Wonder sweet peppers. Some of them are mixed chilies. I think there are too many in each row. I might have to thin these out. And you can see I've been putting slug pellets down because, there we go, there's a slug. And they are absolutely everywhere. And they've been eating the chilies before they can get a chance to grow any chilies, if you know what I mean. Great, so I'll put the cover back on, keep the heat in there. Also stops the soil drying out a little bit, I think. Great. So these are the strawberries under the netting. Only just threw the netting on roughly last night. Might leave them open actually to allow the flowers to be pollinated by the bees. So if I just undo this, and you can see the strawberries. If I stand up here, so strawberry through there, and they're looking pretty good. They've each got either flowers or little strawberries on them. Some of them are getting quite big now. But yeah, looking forward to them. Mainly Cambridge variety. I believe some of them are Honey Oi, that's how you pronounce it, and then Sweetheart. Symphony down the end there. Right, and then onto the raspberries. It's an A-frame construction that I built about a month ago. And I'm not sure you can see it, but some galvanized wire. These raspberry plants have only gone in this year, so I'm not expecting a huge amount from them. But they've got room to grow. And I mean, they are showing signs of flowers. And some raspberries down the end. And these ones, the biggest ones, I've already got fruit coming through, which is nice. So yep, on to the next part. These beyond the raspberries is one of the biggest beds. Not very big, but we've got some sweet corn in there. All sorts of different varieties of sweet corn. Some small plants, some big plants, some grown from seed, some bought. But yeah, we'll just let them grow up. And then peas on the netting here. They only went in last night, so the wind's blowing them around a bit. But some peas there. I'll probably try to get another row in there as well, because I've got lots of peas. You can see on the by the shed there, I've got some peas there, and some peas in the greenhouse as well to plant out. So, and then this is what I was doing a second ago, planting out some Atlantic giant pumpkins. Now they're probably too close together, but I've got so many of them that I don't have much choice because I don't have too much space. So what I'm trying to do, you can maybe see it, how well this is coming out, but what I'm trying to do is create a sort of a drainage channel around the pumpkins so that when I water them, I'm only watering the plant and not allowing the water to run off elsewhere. So I've been doing that. Got some more to go in. Next to it are some broad beans. Some of the broad beans elsewhere on the allotments here are much taller, much bigger, but yeah, they'll maybe catch up. And then over here, I haven't shown you these two beds. Hope the wind isn't ruining the sound here, but got two beds here. We've got a brassicas bed. Last year we gave up a lot of space to brassicas. This year we're just going to keep it as this one raised bed. It's not very tall. We filled it full of compost and topsoil, and I emptied out the compost bin and sieved that soil, and it was quite good. And put some grit sand in there as well for drainage, so altogether it's quite good quality soil. And we've got all sorts of brassicas. We've got purple sprouting broccoli, I'm sure if you can see that, those guys. And we've got some, I'll just grab the label, got some cauliflower next, and then spring cabbage, Calabrese marathon, and some Brussels sprouts at the end. So I've got this piece of metal here. I'm going to put a net over that to stop that white butterfly, cabbage white I think it's called, or something, to stop it laying all its grubs. But yeah, they're coming along nicely. Right, in this next raised bed, I'll get my shadow out of the way. Some beetroot. So you can see it down there. Grab the label. Beetroot Detroit. And they seem to be growing quite well actually, because if you look down here, I'm not sure if you can see it. If you look down there, you can actually see beetroot's already growing. So there's some there. And then under here, the carrots. I'm going to grow more carrots this year, but these are just general carrots. Let's pull this back and have a look. There we go. Nice and healthy, nice and big. Try not to disturb them too much. Get the dreaded carrot fly in. But as you can see, there are 3 distinct rows through there. And then here are some onions. Now these onions I'm trying to grow really, really big. They're not doing too much at the moment because they went in as little plug plants, but some onion fertilizer and better soil for them. So about 10 or so in there. See how big I can get them. Let's put this back. Quite windy today. Right, this is what we call the salad bed, but all the plants from last year are still in it. So that's why it's all overgrown. And I've got to sort it out. The celery is quite good though. 10 celery plants, and you can see in there, celery's quite big. Some of it looks really good, some of it not so much, but I think it's gone to seed, so I'm going to pull the celery off and eat it fairly quickly. And we've got some chard and some other stuff I don't really know what to do with. This is Cavolo Nero, which I keep on seeing popping up on cooking programs, but again, don't really know what to do with it. Apparently you can boil it and it doesn't wilt or something, but yeah, got some of that. We'll just put it in here for now because we're going to clear all of this and mainly put lettuce in it, so we can have some pick and grow again lettuce. And then at the end I've got a tiny little wigwam. You can see a little A-frame for the sugar snap peas and the mange tout, which I think is a very similar thing, but it worked well last year, so I'll give it another go. Got this net over the salad bed, stop the birds getting in. I just got string in between and it seems to keep it tight and works quite well. So gooseberries, tried to have gooseberries all the way along the side here so it creates a bit of a hedge. This is our smallest one, he's not doing anything, just went in this year. But the others are full of fruit. You can see under there, and get it to focus. See if it focuses better on these ones. And yeah, so we've got lots and lots and lots of fruit. I'm just waiting for it to ripen. But yeah, some of them are looking very good. All the way inside here as well, all full of gooseberries. So we've got to remember to get in there and pick them. And same with this guy, not so much on this guy, but yeah, it seems okay. This guy we transplanted from somewhere else and it might be dead, or we'll see if it comes back. This little tiny one at the end here is doing quite well for the size of it. It's got a good few little gooseberries on there. Great, right, on to the last, second to last spot. Here is the courgettes, pumpkin bed with the rhubarb and the sweet peas. So I don't know which ones are which, but I've got about 5 different varieties of courgettes, yellow ones, green ones, black ones, some pumpkins thrown in there. Tried to keep them at least half a metre apart. I think you're supposed to keep them a metre apart, but running out of space, so got some more over here. I have planted some asparagus in there and there this morning, but I think that takes a couple of years to establish anyway, so we'll see what happens to that. Right, this is the sweet pea wigwam. I put some of that netting or fencing at the bottom, so plastic fencing, and hopefully they will grow up through that. I've only just put them in, probably about 120 or so plants in there, so that should fill that. This rhubarb was here when we got here. It's really, really good. We picked loads this year already, and it keeps on coming back. So, yeah, really happy with this rhubarb. But it does take up a lot of space. So, some blackberries in here. It doesn't really get much midday sun, but still flowering, some fruit forming, so that's good. This is our shed. Probably seen it in the background. Painted it this blue colour, which was the first thing we did. Put this pallet up against here, and last year we had herbs growing in this pallet, but we found that without a plastic lining in there, the pots were just draining and the wind was drying them out. So this year we're going to put some plastic lining in and keep it wet. But yeah, we'll just water it more. So, as I said, this is the shed. Homegrown tastes better. I'm kind of yet to figure that out. So we haven't had the allotment for long. But yeah, hopefully this year we'll get something from it. So it's the apple tree, probably the strangest looking apple tree you've ever seen. It's like a tall, thin twig. But there are 7 tiny little apples on it, so even if we get half of those, I'll be happy with that, because it only just went in this year. It had no foliage whatsoever, so yeah, happy with that. And then this is our compost bin water butt area, and patio slabs and hardcore and stuff, and timber and so on. So we're looking directly into the sun at the moment, but yeah, very much the kind of storage area. We do have water elsewhere on the allotment from big galvanised tubs that are filled up, and usually I use that instead of waste the water butt. But yeah, right, over here is the greenhouse, which I'm desperate to empty to get the tomatoes and the cucumbers and the aubergines going. Excuse me. Right, in here we've got, it's only a plastic greenhouse from Lidl, but it's worked out quite well. Got some mange too over there. I'm just going to go over in the salad bed. Got some red onions in there, white onions in there that I haven't yet planted out, so don't know if they'll be any good. They're not onion sets, they're just shop bought lots of little plants, so they take quite a lot of time to put them all out. But got some peas here. Those are the tomatoes. I'm terrible at tomatoes, I just have to look at them and they die. But yeah, there's some tomatoes. And then we've got some more tomatoes down there, and then all the weeds, but I'll have a look at those soon. Hopefully get them into these grow bags soon. I've got some aubergines growing, really healthy aubergines actually, in there. Not sure whether to plant them inside or out actually. Some peas, some basil and coriander that needs watering. These are cucumbers that I potted on the other day. 3 different varieties of cucumbers. They have the other ones as well. They're growing quite well so far. Let's see how they go. Some beefsteak tomatoes, some peas, lots of peas. And then these are tomatoes I've grown from seed. Now, they do need to be potted on. I've probably left them too late, but I'm desperate to empty this greenhouse, clean it all out, put a sheet down to stop the weeds growing up, tether it down so the wind doesn't blow it away because it's only small and light plastic. But then hopefully get rid of all the shelves, put the grow bags down, and grow the tomatoes and cucumbers, possibly aubergines. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. It's the first video. So our plot, we don't really know what we're doing, but it seems to be kind of working. So let me know what you think. Thanks, bye.